Hello. I'm a hippie and I'm about to leave for work, but I figured I wanted to start this video because I just started part 5 of Crime and Punishment, and as promised, I'm making my last installment of this commentary series for Crime and Punishment. And right now we're focusing a little bit on another character, a character that we met briefly in parts 3 and 4, even a little bit in part 2. We got a little bit more familiar with her in parts 3 and 4, but now in parts 5, the first 2 chapters were solely about her and what's going on with her family, and it has been wild. It has been wild. Drama mean the whole time. I'm just like, I love Raskolnikov as a character. I just think that he is just top tier character work. And he's just sitting back, observing everything and like figuring everything out. And the way he comes to the rescue, and I think chapter 2 at the very end, or maybe chapter 3, one of those chapters at the very end, was just like mwah, chef's kiss, because we love a man that takes care of business when business needs taking care of. But like I said, I'm on my way to work. That's all I got for right now, and I'll come back when I have another update. Hopefully it's before I finish the book, but I can't promise you that it will be. Well, actually, I still got I think I got a solid 200 and some odd pages left, so I'll definitely be back before then, but yeah. One other thing that I think is worth mentioning is that I've heard it said that people converted to Christianity in reading Crime and Punishment. And that is just so powerful to me, because if you look past what Raskolnikov did and you just take in the story, you just take in the whole of what Dostoevsky is putting down, it's so beautiful, this redemption that he is granted, because he is truly tormented by the crime he committed. And the crime that he committed is like one of the worst crimes. It's not the worst. There are far worse crimes that can be committed. Don't mistake me. That's a part of the reason why I said he's not a psychopath, because the crime he committed is one that is terrible. It's horrible. It is something that most people don't even consider doing, right? But you can be redeemed. And that's what Christianity is. Christianity is all about forgiveness. True Christianity is about forgiveness. And it's just so beautiful to me, because I remember a time in my life where I felt tormented and just afraid. I was just thinking yesterday about why I think I love Russian literature, and I think it's because it's very philosophical. I myself am a very philosophical person. I always have been since I was young. I was raised Christian, and I've just always had this inclination towards philosophy. I'm an introvert, but I love people. I love learning about people. I love learning about the things that make people tick. I love learning about the intricacies of life. And all of that in this one book, it's so powerful, and I wish I had the words. I wish I was smart enough. But it's so powerful, and I could see that with this conversation between Raskolnikov and Sonia, who is the woman I was talking about earlier that we're getting a lot more on in part 5. This conversation between them, I almost want to cry. It is, I've said it before, but if there was one person that I could speak to, like living or dead, before I die, it would be Fyodor Dostoevsky. It would be Fyodor Dostoevsky, because this conversation right now, I had to stop listening to it. I'm like outside of Starbucks. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about it. But it's so beautiful. And this is the type of book that just changes your life. And I just wonder how there could ever be a person who could be this insightful, this wise, this philosophical. I don't know, but I'll be back later. People. Let me close this window. I finished Crime and Punishment, and I just wish I had the words, but I don't. So here's my review for it that I wrote on the new book tracking platform I'll be using in 2025. We're done with Goodreads, folks. We're done with Goodreads, but that's another topic for another video. Right now, we're talking about Crime and Punishment. Raskolnikov is the most complex and compelling character I've ever read. I do think there is some working up, so to speak, that needs to happen when talking about reading Dostoevsky. I think one would understand his work and his style better by starting with his short stories and working their way up to his masterpieces, Crime and Punishment included. At least, that was what I did, and I feel that methodology helped me to appreciate and understand this novel better. That said, currently, this is my favorite novel of all time, a work of great complexity and a study on crime and punishment that I wish I had the words to describe. For now, I'll say, I'm so happy to have read this and to have chosen the method of reading Dostoevsky that I did, for it made getting into this work infinitely easier than I believe it would have been otherwise. Just a short, concise little thought about Crime and Punishment. Part 6, since we're not going to do the general overview in this video, this is just me talking about parts 5 and part 6. Part 6, we spent a lot of time with Raskolnikov and a periphery character who I don't know if they were supposed to be like, I do believe this character was supposed to be an antagonist. Let me just say that. Svidrigailov, literally, he's supposed to be an antagonist. I think he was supposed to be an antagonist, and he really was antagonistic. Also, and then the epilogue too. So it's parts 5, part 6, and the epilogue. And boy, Raskolnikov, he doesn't seem like a person that I would be friends with, but in Raskolnikov, I see a lot of myself, which you might think is crazy, but one thing about Dostoevsky is that I think he writes the things that we want to say but don't say out loud. You know what I mean? Like, I felt myself from the very beginning of this novel. I said this in a vlog. I saw a lot of myself in him. Like, a lot of things that I do, a lot of my quirks and a lot of my tells and things that I do as an introvert, I saw in Raskolnikov. And that, I think that's the most beautiful thing about Raskolnikov and also Dostoevsky's writing and also Crime and Punishment, is that you can see yourself in Raskolnikov, you can see yourself in Dostoevsky's writing. I believe Dostoevsky had such a good understanding of the human state, of human psychology, and matters of the mind, to where when you read his work, you kind of are then faced with the fact that we live so much of our lives in our heads, or at least I live so much of my life in my head, thinking about things, going back and forth. You have a lot of like diametrically opposed thoughts just like going through your mind all at once, and it's just this cesspool of thought, and you can't ever hone in on a single thought. And when you do, at least for me, when I do zero in on a single thought, let's say I'm overthinking about something someone did to me and I'm just really just torn up about it, and I really have something that I want to say to them, I'm not the kind of person who can just hold that kind of stuff in. I will be blunt and I will tell you what I'm feeling off my chest, because I can't hold it in. And I saw that in Raskolnikov in chapter 6, and just throughout this, not chapter 6, in part 6. And you just see that in him throughout the novel, is that once he really works up an idea and it's something that he's decided on, there are a lot of things that he has a lot of indecision on, but when he makes a decision and he has something that he wants to say to someone, he will say it to them, even if it's not in his best interest to do so, which is why so many times he worked himself up to go and commit himself to the police and just, but didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because once I understand that, like, once I get this thought and I work it up in my mind and I really come to a conclusion, I have to get it off my chest. And I think that's the idea of, like, not being a duplicitous person, being an honest person. You can say a lot of things about Raskolnikov, but he's not a liar, I don't think. I don't think that you would say Raskolnikov is a liar, Like, he's gonna tell you what he's feeling when he's feeling it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that overview video. That's gonna be my wrap up for the month of December. But yeah, I cannot believe I finished Crime and Punishment, one of the best books I've ever read. And I've been listening to some reviews. I've been listening to a lot of videos on some of the themes throughout this book, throughout this work. And I am just so excited for 2025 because I really want to read a lot more Dostoevsky. And just, like, read everything he's ever put out. I'm so excited for that. So that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening. And most importantly, I hope you read a good book. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.